Penifan is my target, up from the Neuadd Reservoirs in the Brecons, South Wales. It's a straightforward trek up, but today the weather is against me. Wicked winds and relentless rain will be coming my way, and there'll be nowhere to hide on the top overnight. Parking alongside the track going up to the old reservoirs, the trekking route is then up steady, following the old Roman road for some of the way. I'm heading out for an overnight camp just off the top of the rocky crest of Penifan, and then tomorrow I'll follow the ridge path south from Corndu along the western side of the old disused reservoirs.
Welcome subscribers and passing visitors, one and all. This is January, makes a change for a January outing for me. January the 1st actually. Happy New Year. Up ahead is Penifan. Looking forward to that for a change on a winter's day. It's the afternoon. I'm heading out for a wild camp overnight. The forecast is okay, not great. Wet, windy, but not overly cold. I think it might dip with the wind chill down to -1, maybe -2 early in the morning. But ambient should be above freezing otherwise. That's one of my favourite bits on this first part of the walk, crossing that nice deep gully. Lots of water in it today. Hi, I'm Warren Brand, and welcome to another Linleys video. Right on, we are doing well, and not too wet so far. 1 or 2 showers, but not too bad. I've left my full waterproof gear on for the moment, just can't be bothered to take it off, and I will need it again for sure. So right up ahead, becoming much clearer now, is the coal between Fanny Big on the right, can't see the top, and Cribyn, which is now just clearing, just see the top of Cribyn. How about that? Which I camped on last September. And then Penifan, which is still in the mist and murk, just over the trees, is beyond. Looking good so far. stomping around in a wet gully here. I've got my big boys boots on, the heavy ones, for this trip. I thought it wise to keep my old feet dry. They don't get much of an outing these days, but they're good for winter time, especially if it's snowy, because they're stiff boots and good for sticking the old crampons on. Not that I need them today, of course. Wind is picking up, having to make sure I don't lose my hand.
Turning left from the old Roman road at the dip here, the next target is Cribyn. There's a false summit ahead to get over first, and then the top is just beyond. The route up is quite steep, but the first bit is along a stony track, so it's easy to gain height quickly, except today the wind is fearsome and steady feet are needed to stand up against it. It's getting really windy here, and my poor GoPro stands no chance of picking up my voice over the wind. I'm now just whittering on about the way up, about the view of the Roman road below, with the track up to Fanny Big over the other side. Along this section the ground is saturated, slippy and tricky to walk along in the fierce wind. The flat bit between the false summit and the top is really boggy at this time of year. The path is lost in some places under quite a bit of water. At the top, the familiar rocky lump is a welcome sight. Time is pushing on, and I only have about an hour left of light. I want to find a place to camp up near the top of Penifan before it gets too dark, so let's keep going. down to the puddle between Cribyn and Penifan, I have to divert around a little as the path is totally flooded. Looking back, the top of Cribyn is still just visible in the blowing clouds, but the weather is grim overall. Up the other side from the puddle, the track is easy until the very last bit where the scramble over the rocky lumpy edges is tricky in wet and windy weather. Steady feet and a determination to keep going is needed. What a difference right now compared to a visit last year during a summer's day when I had to queue to stand up by the top stone. No other silly bugger is around at the moment. But the light then faded really quickly and I struggled to find a suitable place to pitch my tent. I managed to find a nice grassy area just off the top and set my tent up as quickly as I could. A hot chocolate drink is next to keep me warm while I sort out my wet gear, and then get my meal on. I have egg noodles and a tin of chili con carne to have tonight. Ah yes, and a pudding as well, of course.
That's actually remarkably okay. Steamy hot. This is going to take me some time to get through. Well, I've had my main course so far, so that's good. Hunker down in my tent. I've just been watching Dan of Camp Life Bushcraft on his channel. He put out a video today, so I've just caught some of that. I need to pause it in a few minutes, and I'm going to get on with my pudding. I have some pudding to enjoy. Pudding in the shape of a little mini Christmas pudding. Meant to change from mince pies or apple crumbles that I've done before. So that'll take a little bit of time. Some boiling water. I've got some custard to have as well, of course. So I'll juggle the pots and get the custard going too. Just a really low flame and a bit of custard. I like my Trangia. I find it very versatile. There's two pots, kettle, and I'm using the kettle at the moment to keep my Christmas pudding on the heat. Got some boiling water in there. Steady. Okay, pudding time. Christmas, hot Christmas pudding. Oh yeah, little Christmas pudding. Hot. Cute little Christmas pudding. Oh, splodge. He's a bit lost in the custard, little Christmas pudding. There he is. A little island in a big sea of custard. Oh, steamy hot. Mmm. Oh, it's very good. That is very good. Mmm. 1st of January 2022. Windy and wet.
After breakfast and packing up as quickly as possible when the rain eased, I've managed to get back on the trail without getting cold or wet. A good start to the day.
Departed camp. Good night. Windy. Oh, mild, not too cold. Around 2 or 3 degrees. So not as cold as I was expecting. It's just after 9, I think. Just a little after 9. Already there's loads of people up walking along this trail. I think they've come up from Story Arms, missing Cribyn. Cribyn's just over there. So circumvented Cribyn, didn't do Cribyn today. It's actually not quite clagged out. It was earlier, couldn't be bothered. Been there 3 or 4 times last year. So, Benny fan behind. I'm looking for a curve over the ridge. Visibility isn't great, but I'm familiar with this junction here. So I shall stop and check. I think I can even see the ridge.
At this windy junction of paths, the route up the Corndhu is just behind me, with the lower path that I've just used a little lower down. Ahead, I have the route down to the right, linking directly down to the Story Arms. But the route I'll take now follows the ridge line straight ahead, right into the mist. On my left, down there somewhere, is the drop down to the valley with the remains of the upper and lower Neuadd Reservoirs. And just beyond these is the route that I took yesterday, up the Roman road.
It's silly. Same bit 3 times. God, right. It's a bit wet again. Must be, I haven't looked at my map. I must be about halfway along this top ridge between the Corndhu junction and the trig point up ahead, which I'm aiming for. I was hoping to see views of the old, disused, or temporarily disused at least, reservoir down there, the Upper Neuadd Reservoir, but can't see a thing. Right, out of the wind for a moment, but the rain has started, well, restarted. Oh yes.
GoPro batteries don't last all day, so needing to swap one out, I took a moment to have a mince pie as well. Well, why not?
In the summertime, that's a very popular route up and down from the upper and lower Neuadd reservoirs, but I wouldn't do it in the winter, not with a full pack anyway. I'm going to go on another 400 metres or so to the trig point, and that'll be my point for diving off down into the valley. So that's my route down from this ridge. Haven't yet got to the trig point, but I'm going to crack on, do the trig point, and then come back to this path. Just ducking down in the protection behind the trig point. Last little bit of the high level walk, going to dive down now, taking that big path down. I have been here a couple of times before. The last time was with Neil 4 or 5 years ago. The path does go further on. I don't know where that goes, but hey, back down to that junction, down to the valley. Let's enjoy the getting out of this wind. Well, I think this is the most sheltered I've been since I left my car yesterday. What a lovely view. Let's just grab the view. Raining again. You can never really rely on tree lines for navigation, not unless you know the route particularly and you know things haven't changed. There's a patch of trees here that are actually on the map, and they're fairly young. I don't know the age of the trees, but they're not big tall ones, they're little tall ones. But this tree line, this tree corner, is a very important sort of landmark for poor visibility. So usually you can see trees and darkness for trees in a distance. So always good to know trees as well as rivers. I think this rain has set in again. I like crossing rivers. Well, that's a new bridge. Wasn't there 4 years ago, I'm sure. Onwards and upwards again. There's a disused pumping station or filter station or something, which I remember looking at around here, just up ahead. What a gorgeous little valley.
At the end of this video, I've added some extra photos of views taken when the dam was still in place, before they cut it away and put the bridge in. A lot has changed in this area over the last few years.
Now on the final section, but just up here is that junction with the Roman road to the coal between Cribyn and Fanny Big. Just take an opportunity to wish you a very happy, safe 2022. I've enjoyed this walk out today. The weather has been slightly against me, but never mind, it's been good. Nice to get out into the hills, and I do like the Brecon Mountains in South Wales. Well, it's another trek successfully completed with an overnight camp out just off the top of Penifang. Lovely. The weather's been slightly inclement, but that's okay. Do I care? Another good one. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.